Hello and welcome to the UT Health San Antonio Community Support Webinar. Today's topic is security in the time of coronavirus. My name is Michelle Mata and I will be your host for today's webinar. Today's presenters are Michael Runnels and Angelife Pardo. Mike is a senior IT security analyst in the Department of Information Security at UT Health San Antonio. Angelife is an intermediate information security analyst in the Department of Information Security at UT Health San Antonio. At the end of this webinar, individuals will be able to identify the differences between phishing, smishing, and vishing, and implement best practices to avoid scams aimed at gaining secure information. Now, let's begin with Mike.
Thank you, Michelle. Hello and welcome to our webinar. I'm Mike Runnels of the Information Security Office. Today we're going to cover some of the threats to our security that are taking advantage of all the confusion surrounding living and working under the strange conditions of this global pandemic. These are just a few of the headlines that have appeared in the last few months related to the pandemic and security. We'll be going over them briefly to see how to avoid becoming a statistic. In late May, the Federal Trade Commission reported over 50,000 Americans had filed for complaints of loss totaling almost $39 million. By the end of April, over 40,000 domain names had been registered using the term coronavirus or COVID. Many were bought by speculators for possible future use, some for legitimate information and fundraising purposes, but many were used by scammers to steal money and personal information. Those included spam and phishing campaigns and scams involving text messages and phone calls. In fact, Google reported it had blocked over 18 million phishing messages a day related to the pandemic on its Gmail service during April. This is in addition to blocking over 240 million coronavirus-related spam messages per day that month. Other mail services have reported similar activities. Here are some of the samples of the types of phishing that have been reported. Here's an example of what should be an easy to recognize phish. The first indication should be the number of grammatical and spelling errors spread throughout the message. Note the sender and the sender's email address don't line up, the generic greeting, and the fact that the contact of a large organization is using a Google Gmail account. Most obvious is the offer to give every recipient of the message 700,000 euros, or nearly $800,000. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. This message was sent by a student whose email account was compromised. The phisher took a legitimate email message the student had received and edited it to ask for user login credentials. Remember, no one at the university will legitimately ask for your password. Additionally, the sender claimed to be part of the university's IT service desk, but the name used is actually a university vice president. Here's the most recent coronavirus-related phish we received here at the university. Besides the many grammar and punctuation errors throughout the message, there are other suspicious indicators. Probably the most obvious is the sender's email address does not appear to coincide in any way with the signature block. And to cap it off, our mail system blocked the attachment which contained an infector. A different tactic used by the bad guys is phishing by text messages, or smishing. In this example, the recipient can't tell the true source of the message, only a phone number that could easily be spoofed. A link embedded in the text actually goes to malware designed to infect computers and, in some cases, smartphones. Our final examples are phone-based phishing. Almost everyone has experienced telephone scams, but they always increase whenever there's a large-scale event of which they can take advantage. Natural disasters and large societal conflicts are favorite targets.
Hello, this is Bradley Jasek with an important message regarding the effects of the coronavirus outbreak on your student loans. As you may have already heard, President Trump invoked his power as Commander-in-Chief by declaring a national emergency due to the widespread impacts of COVID-19. New measures will include waiving interest on your federal student loans until further notice. During this time, our offices have continued to maintain full staffing levels and will continue to do so until further notice. For more information on how these new measures will impact your future payment obligations, call us back today at 855-264 before 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks and have a great day.
This one got the attention of a lot of students because it sounds good and it had a human-sounding voice.
Hello. This is a courtesy invitation to work with Amazon from home and make up to $400 in a day. Open enrollment has begun for the Amazon Associate Program. The program allows you to partner with Amazon and share in their success as a referral partner. Everyone over 18 qualifies. No sales or technical experience are needed. Work from home. You set your own schedule. To learn more about partnering with Amazon, call the Amazon hotline at 360-203. Spaces are limited, so please call now. 360-203. That's 360-203. Thank you.
If you're stuck at home, why not make some extra money? This one falls into the too good to be true category, and the computer-generated voice makes it suspicious.
Hello, this is a call from the Social Security Administration. During these difficult times of the coronavirus, we regret to inform you that we have got an order to suspend your socials immediately within 24 hours due to suspicious and fraudulent activities found on your socials. We are contacting you as this case is critical and needs your urgent attention. To get more information about this case, please call immediately on our department number 888-991-2325. I repeat, 888-991-2325.
The targets here were those receiving Social Security benefits and those in Medicare and Medicaid. Using a toll-free number is a good tactic, but the computer-generated voice makes this one suspicious too. Regardless of source, the scams are interested in your money, your personal information, or both. Some examples include low interest or no interest personal loans or small business loans to tide you through the pandemic. Student loan relief is also a popular subject. A favorite of text and phone scams is making big bucks working from home. All they really want is your personal information. Then they'll be making the big bucks. As the pandemic increases in intensity, many companies had to reduce or close altogether. In an effort to shore up the economy, the federal government released economic impact payments. That's the official term, economic impact payments. If you get a call, text, or email from a government agency talking about your stimulus payment, it's almost definitely a fraud. Government agencies will use the official term. If there are any future payments, check what the official name is for the program. On a related topic, a recent overseas scam against the federal government resulted in the unemployment benefits of thousands of Americans being stolen. Most were unaware of the scam until they were told their benefits had already been used. There have even been advertisements for blood and saliva samples of cured patients for sale on the dark web. So ask yourself, is what's being offered too good to be true? It probably is. Are they asking for your sensitive personal information over the phone or through email? Are they asking for prepayment or service charges to get you your own benefits? In terms of buying anything on the dark web, it's not a good idea, and it sounds gross. And check out any charity or service asking for your support, that is, for your money. Do your homework and research anyone who wants you to give them money. With so many people working from home, those with jobs that is, teleconferencing tools have become indispensable. The ability to meet face-to-face, to share content on the screen or by file sharing, and even being able to remotely control other computers have all eased the burden of being out of the office and away from your usual work environment. Because it has become so popular, teleconferencing has become a target of opportunity for the bad guys. Meetings have been joined by others with malicious intent. Attempts have been made to steal data and being shared, and there have even been disruptions using inappropriate sounds and images, including hate speech and child pornography. There's even a term coined for one popular service, Zoom bombing. Some things to think about for your next teleconference. Are you the host? Then use one of the university services, not a free personal one. We've identified and implemented controls on our services depending upon whether you're using meetings, teaching, or interacting with patients or sharing research. Attending a meeting hosted by someone outside the university, find out what service is being used and whether they've secured their service. And always limit the amount of sensitive information that is being shared to the bare minimum. Finally, let's talk a little bit about some of the risks of working remotely and whether you're at home or on the road. When you jump on the cloud, you're actually moving across hundreds and thousands of computing devices on your way to your destination. Without some form of protection, every device and network that you move through puts you and your data at risk if they are not properly secured. This applies to connecting to the university network too. In this case, though, you may be dealing with sensitive university information such as patient data, student information, social security and credit card data, and sensitive research. All of this could be at risk if you don't protect your pathway. To protect you and the university's network and data, we require a secure connection between you and the university. We call this a virtual private network, or VPN. When you authenticate with a VPN, a secure connection is established across the entire internet pathway between you and the university. Think of it as a secure pipe between you and the university that others cannot intrude on. It's called a virtual private network because you are now virtually at the university with all its protections and access to all its resources. While using the VPN, all activities in your computer go in and out of the university's network, and they are all subject to scanning and monitoring like all other university activity. For this reason, be very, very careful about your personal surfing habits, your social media, and streaming content while connected to the VPN. All of that activity is being monitored, so don't do anything while on the VPN that you wouldn't do in the office. Now let's take a look at some best practices and resources we've approved and provided for what we've talked about so far. Here's Angelife.
Thanks, Mike. Here are some best practices to avoid being scammed. Don't share personal information over email, text message, or phone, like your username, password, date of birth, social security number, or financial data. Keep in mind that government agencies will not ask for your personal information or your money via email, text message, or phone. Don't click on any links, open attachments, or download files from unknown senders, even if they appear to be reputable. Don't respond to online offers, phone calls, or emails about coronavirus-related vaccines or cures. They aren't legitimate. Don't donate in cash, by gift card, or by wiring money. Do your research before donating to a cause or a charity, and be wary of fundraising calls or emails seeking money for coronavirus victims or disease research, especially if they pressure you to act fast and request payment by prepaid debit cards or gift cards. Whenever there's a major disaster, phishing emails are sure to follow. Cybercriminals prey on human emotions like fear and urgency, which today are as prevalent as the coronavirus itself. Become familiar with the following 5 signs to spot a phishing email. Exercise caution if an email plays on fear and urgency, asks for credentials, personal or financial information, uses an unfamiliar greeting like sir or madam. In addition, check if it has a sketchy email address or contains spelling or grammar errors. Report phishing emails to spam@utesca.edu or use the Fish Alert button in Outlook. Report suspicious voicemails or text messages to infosec@utesca.edu. Send the phone number with a brief description or screenshot of the message. Then delete the voicemail or text. The following steps can be taken to mitigate teleconference hijacking threats. make your meetings or classrooms private by requiring a meeting password and enabling the meeting lobby or waiting room feature so external guests will need to wait until the host approves them one by one. Provide the meeting link only to the people you invite to the meeting. Don't share a link to a teleconference or classroom on an unrestricted, publicly available social media post. Institutional licenses for Teams, WebEx, and Zoom should be used and not external, independent, or personal accounts. Cyber actors could easily exploit telework software to gain access to sensitive data or eavesdrop on meetings if the appropriate security controls are not enabled or available. The university's licenses for Teams, WebEx, and Zoom are configured with security settings for data protection, privacy, and to mitigate teleconference hijacking threats. Virtual desktop infrastructure, or VDI, can be used to connect from any location or device to access files and applications anywhere in the world. VDI offers user mobility, ease of access, flexibility, and security. Here are the key features of a VDI desktop. VDI is available outside and inside the university's network. It can be accessed without VPN or RDP. It can replace older, slower desktops, and updates and patches are managed by IMS. Data is also protected if the device ever gets stolen or compromised. There are 3 options for VDI ranging from $26 to $35 a month. Contact Anthony Prince at princeal@utesca.edu for more information about VDI desktops. Here are some additional resources for topics that were discussed in today's webinar on phishing and virtual meetings. Thank you for joining us on this webinar.
Thank you, Mike and Angelife, for presenting today's webinar on security in the time of coronavirus. Also, thank you to each of you who viewed this webinar. If you find that you or your team needs additional support or resources regarding information security, please contact the Department of Information Security at 210-567-0707 or visit the infosec.utesca.edu website, which is spelled infosec.uthsca.edu. Additionally, you may contact the security engineering team at infosec@utesca.edu or the governance, risk, and compliance team at grc@utesca.edu. We hope you have found this information helpful. This concludes today's webinar. Thank you and stay safe.